Hi guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in today's video I will be discussing what I thought of the most recent episode of our favorite spin-off show, AMC's Fear the Walking Dead. I just got done watching it a few minutes ago, and as usual, there's a lot to talk about, so before I begin, of course, please be warned this is a spoiler-filled episode review. Again, if you're not caught up on Fear the Walking Dead by Season 5 with the first two episodes, do not keep watching or listening as I will be discussing and going into spoilers. So, you have been warned. That being said, I'm getting into it, so spoilers starting from here on out now. I felt like, with the exception of a pretty awesome reunion between, no, not Dwight and Morgan, but Daniel and Victor, and then I loved the bonding between Alicia and Morgan as well. And then a revelation of a new threat of nuclear walkers, and now there's some psycho out there leaving severed walker heads hanging from billboard signs and marking his territory and whatnot while they're trying to find Al. I felt like it was a good episode, but I felt like not a whole lot happened. I mean, the biggest thing that happened was the Strand Daniel reunion, which was great. I enjoyed it a lot. It shows you just how much both of them have changed. Now, we've seen how Strand has changed, but we haven't really seen how Daniel has changed, but clearly has changed because he didn't kill Victor outright. He very well could have, and I'm sure he thought about it, but he didn't outright kill him, and he had every reason and right to. And so the fact that he invites him in to show him where he's living now, and then he actually hears him out of why he's there, and then Strand tells him the bad news about Madison and Nick, that was great. I really enjoyed that. The scenes between Daniel and Strand were awesome, and I think I felt just as frustrated as Victor did when Daniel pretty much kicked him out, said, "Don't come back here, and if you do, I'll shoot you in the face." Oh God, I just cracked up when Strand said he's got good taste, referring to the cat skid mark, and then Daniel says he licks his own ass. It's like their quips at each other are back at it again. But it wasn't all funny because it was rather serious, and now Daniel is just refusing to help because he knows Strand too well, where even when Strand tries to do the good thing or to help people, he only ends up making things worse. So Daniel might have had a good point, but it still feels like it was the wrong move. Although, who knows, maybe that'll change over the course of the season. And then I loved how Alicia and Morgan were bonding over shared experiences and feelings of guilt, responsibility, feeling like how they weren't there to save the people that they loved or how they could have done more to protect others. And I love the fact that Morgan, who's been doing this a lot longer than Alicia has, I feel like in terms of a leadership role, not in terms of survival or seasoning, but in terms of a leadership role. I feel like he's done it a bit longer than she has, and I think it's so great that they have this mentor-mentee relationship, and they clearly get along and they like each other. And then I like how this episode showed us that there are other do-gooders in the world. They meet this new character, this Grace woman, a former nuclear plant worker who's tracking down all her former colleagues who died of radiation poisoning and then turned into radioactive walkers, apparently. Scary, but cool, though. And she's trying to just hunt them down one by one so that they don't infect the area or anybody else for that matter. So now not only do they have to worry about nuclear walkers, but now they've got to find Al. They're missing supplies, but mostly Al. And now there's a new threat around where somebody's leaving severed walker heads hanging from the truck stop where they're currently holed up at. So, there was a lot in this episode, but still, even though there was a lot, it just felt like a whole lot didn't happen. I think what this episode's saving grace was the awesome one-on-one character scenes between Strand and Daniel and Morgan and Alicia. And of course, anything with John. I mean, I love John. He's one of my new favorite characters. Anything with him I always enjoy. But still, I feel like not a whole lot happened in this episode, but that's okay. Not every episode has to be intense and crazy and action-packed and oh my god moments and whatnot. Sometimes they need to be slower in order to build up to the next episode, which might be a bit more exciting or might be a bit more jaw-dropping. And, whatever helps tell the story, move it along, that's what we're in for. That's why we watch the show, because we enjoy the story. So overall, good episode. Really enjoyed the Daniel Strand reunion and scenes they had together. I am very curious as to how Daniel ended up at that place, what happened to him, and what basically changed him from, what stopped him from killing Victor right in his tracks, right where he stood. Because he had every reason in Ray to, and you can tell he's still considering it, but he didn't. So I'm very curious about that, and hopefully we'll get some more answers as the season moves along. So, what did you guys think of tonight's episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from everybody. Thank you so much for watching. New episodes of Fear the Walking Dead air every Sunday night on AMC. Check your local listings for times. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and a great rest of your weekend. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.